Now let us look about the government company. What is meant by government company, or which company is called as a government company? According to the Indian Companies Act of 2013, a government company means any company in which not less than 51 percentage of the capital is held by the central government or the state government, or both central by and the state government. So on the whole, we can say a company whose capital is held by the majority of the capital is held by the government, it is called as a government company. So what are the provisions which are applicable to Companies Act of 2013 are applicable to this government company? So what are the suitability and examples of a government company? The government company is suitable for where the government wishes to have control of the company in the private sector without nationalization. Then, where the projects require government planning and government funds, and where the government wishes to go for a collaboration with the private sector, that is, when we want to have a joint venture with the private sector. And the fourth condition is where the government want to promote and develop some economic activity in the public sector. In those cases, the government companies will come into existence. The examples of government company are BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, and Steel Authority of India Limited, SAIL, Hindustan's Machine Tools, HMT, State Trading Corporation, STC, Bharat Earth Movers Limited, BEML, Hindustan Aircrafts, Maruti Udyog Limited, etc. So, what are the features of government company? The first feature is it is created by the Indian Companies Act of 2013. Second one is it has separate legal entity distinct from its members. That is, the members, that is shareholders, are different and the company is different. The company can sell the property and purchase property in its own name. So the next one is the provisions of the Companies Act regulate the management of the company. So whatever is there mentioned in the Companies Act, that only will be followed for the management of the company. And the fourth one is the employees and the company are appointed according to their own rules and regulations as contained in the memorandum and articles of association. As we have seen already, memorandum and articles are the most important documents of a company. So the employees are appointed by this memorandum and articles only, which is mentioned. And the government companies are exempted from accounting and audit rules and procedures. They will not have that much rules and procedure. A separate auditor will be appointed by the central government, and the annual report of auditing should be presented in the parliament or in the state legislature, whichever is applicable. And finally, the government company procures funds from government shareholdings and other private shareholders as well as the capital market, which we will read in detail. Now we will just look into the merits of government company. So it is, what are the merits of a government company? It can be formed by fulfilling the requirements of the Indian Companies Act. A separate act in the parliament is not required, such as statutory company, for setting up a government company. So whatever provision is there in the Companies Act, with that itself they can form a company. And then the second one is the government company is a separate legal entity and it can manage its affairs independently. There is no parliamentary and ministerial control. So it is an autonomous body. And then it reduces the unhealthy business practices, because since the government is the major stakeholder, then they will provide the goods and services at a reasonable prices to the public. So it reduces the unhealthy business practices. And finally, it enjoys full autonomy. Autonomy means freedom in all business decisions, and it take action according to the business enterprises or business prudence. Now let us see what are the demerits of the government company. So the government company also suffers some of the demerits. That is, since the government is the sole shareholder, that is, majority of the shares are held by them, the provisions of the Companies Act will not have much relevance. So that will not be applicable to this to a greater extent. Okay. The second one, it is not accountable directly to the parliament, because it is not answerable to the parliament directly. And the third one is the main purpose of a government company is not being fulfilled. That is, the government being the only shareholder, the management of the company and the administration of the company lies in the hands of government. So the main purpose of the government company, registered like other company, is defeated. At that point of time, it is not fulfilled. And finally, the independent character of a government company exists only in paper. That is, for namesake only, it was called as a government company. There is no interference, we can say. But actually, there are lot of political interference, ministerial interference, and government official interference in the government company organization. So, it is considered as one of the greatest drawback of the government company.